I did promise this story, the baked potato story, which CB has been waiting. CB's now been waiting for like 3 years, Zay, for the baked potato story. You know how this.
Yeah, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh, you never got it? The whole, no?
You know, Bucky, when you walked out of the room, I said, do you know what Bucky's talking about?
Nope.
I don't.
Well,
I didn't know about it.
There are listeners who've been listening for years upon years, not involved like you guys are, that I would have to tell them the story. And this was. I'm going to let you say. I'm going to say this. This was Bucky at his worst. I was a teenager or a preteen before this really happened. It is, and someone say it's not one of the worst things that you've ever done. It is the worst thing that you or anybody else would have ever done. But I'll let you know what it was. Growing up in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, every year there were I lived on the west side of town. South side of town was sort of like the east side, if you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? I lived on the west side.
East side or?
Old east side.
Old east side. All right, yeah.
And so I lived on the west side, and we had our little, and we were kind of gangish and, whatever.
Gangish.
We thought we were, but we used to get together, and once a year, myself, the best man in my first wedding, Danny, would get there. He was a year younger. Not the other one that everybody, well, he would say Hoofy, but no, Hoofy wasn't a part of that at the time. It was myself, Danny, Elmo. These are guys I played basketball with, not all football. Elmo and a kid named Terry. Now, Terry was that dude that would just hang around with us. He would never be picked for anything. We did let him hang around. He did hang with us. And so he would be the guy you'd say to, hey, go tell that girl over there I really, really like her. Because you didn't have the guts to go over there. But Terry would be the dude that had to do all that kind of work. And so we went camping. Once a year we'd go camping. So what we used to do, we'd steal the old man's beer, whether it was, my old man was drinking Black Label at the time. Warm Black Label, Colt 45, Steel City beer. So we would, we'd get 6-pack here, 6-pack there. We all knew that this one time during the spring we were going to go camping up on the mountain. Now, Lehigh University is on one side of what we called a mountain. It was just a hill. It was like the hill country. It wasn't really a mountain. But we'd go camping in a spot.
Like Mount Bonnell.
Yeah, like Mount Bonnell. We'd go camping. And so we'd bring steaks, potatoes, we'd have corn on the cob, stuff like that. And so we stayed overnight. No tent, just on a sleeping bag, on some plastic up there in the springtime. And so it started when I was in 9th grade. And 9th grade, 10th grade, it stopped after 11th grade. By then after the last baked potato deal, it was over for me. So we got to the last year. I cooked the steaks. I was Cookie. I was in charge of cooking steaks. But on the last year, when we got to 11th grade, they wanted Terry. Terry was the guy who was...
Right.
Yeah,
Terry go and ask the
Yeah, and I was like,
girl.
Wait a minute. That's my job. Why is Terry doing that? Let Terry cook some corn. Bucky cooks the steaks here, okay, on the open fire. And they were like, no, this year, they had a little group, had a little gathering.
Like they were talking behind your back.
Yeah, this was planned. This was planned.
Yeah, this was.
And they ambushed your ass.
No, they didn't. It was a meeting. It was a gathering of those guys somewhere.
Without you.
It may have
you
happened.
Weren't there.
I don't know about that part of it.
Bucky, I think it must have.
But I just know this. That particular time up there, we started into the warm beer. Pop, 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 pop. And I started getting mad because this was the last year we were going to do it for sure. We're going into 11th grade, and we look like fools going camping out without a tent. 4 guys up on the mountain. No, not Brokeback Mountain. 4 guys on the mountain. And so I said, okay. So as the time went on, it was time to eat, and I started just getting mad. I got madder and madder and madder. So you know what they gave me to cook? They gave me the baked potatoes. You're going to do our potatoes. So, you got to get that stuff all ready to go. Potatoes, because they're going to take a long time. Steak's not going to take long. And I was adamant about being that guy for the steaks. I've been doing this for 4 years. How are you going to change me and put in Terry? Let Terry do some corn. Let him do some baked beans or something like that. But he can't take the steak duty. No, Buck, we're going to let him do the steak. We're not going to do this again. Let's let Terry do the steak. Right? Okay. All right. That's fine with me. So I said, okay, you guys get the fire going. They got the fire going. They got started to gather all the stuff. Big fire going on. Everything's ready to go. I was so mad. I went, took some aluminum foil, leaned up against a tree. Yes, I did. I did it in about 4 different little things of foil, and got it on a paper plate. Bought it near the fire. Had it all kind of ready to go. Terry started. They started putting stuff on the baked beans and everything else. I took the aluminum foil deals and put them way back to the side because you couldn't put that on a fire. You know what I mean? You had to put them way to the side. So I said, it's going. It's really getting going, y'all. It's really getting going. And man, I just felt so bad. I felt terrible what I had done. And I saved the special one for Terry. I mean, it was the biggest of all the potatoes. And I mean, I just squatted over that tree and bloop, 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 right there in that aluminum foil. So it was time to go. Terry, you ready with the steaks? Danny, Elmo, you ready? I moved them closer to the fire, and I was like, let's go, let's get it going. Dude, they put those paper plates out, and I had my little scooper thing stuck on each plate, and I said, Terry, here's yours. You're going to get the last one. And that thing got to the open fire part of it, you know what I mean? And it was like bubbling and sizzling. And they put it on his plate, and that dude opened it up with his hands, and that smell hit everybody seated around the camp. That's not even funny, Zay. That's not funny. That's nasty.
Let's go to the phone, shall we?
No.
Let's take a few calls.
Wait, so he didn't eat it though?
And of course he didn't eat it. That dude chased me down the mountain in the dark. I mean, you could hear me going, oh! I mean, I'm falling down. I'm hitting stones. It was awful. That thus was the last year of us going on our camping trip. That was the boys going camping.
You ruined it.
I didn't ruin it. They ruined it.
No.
What?
Hold on. Let me take that back. That was the last time you went on that camping trip. They went without you.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, no.
Because you were out here.
I was king of the West Side. They weren't going without me.
How did you even get that idea?
I just was mad. I just thought, okay, you're gonna make me do.
Did you think they were gonna eat it, or did you
no?
think...
I just knew what would happen if I put that on their plate with their steak. I was getting everybody back. It wasn't just Terry.
Oh, yeah, you ruined the steak,
and
too.
you were afraid you looked silly camping without a tent.
Oh yeah,
I think it's alcohol. Obviously, alcohol and anger combined.
Dude, when Terry opened up that thing and they were all around it, and just what the aroma was like when it hit you while you're sitting by the campfire. Oh, it was warm. Dude, I just
grilled poop.
Every eye just turned at me. Every eye looked right over at me. I'm like, oh, gee. Terry got up and he started running after me. Man, I went down that mountain. I tumbled through the brush, the briar patch. I went through everything, and that was it. Thus was the end. But that wasn't so bad, right? I mean,
you've
managed to
Is that filthy? Is that disgusting?
You've managed to keep your self-esteem intact somehow.
I don't know how.
Is that horrible? Is that a horrible?
I mean, I had a friend in high school who pooped in a Tupperware dish and put it in someone's locker and got kicked off the football team for it. That's the closest thing I could think of. But
no, I wasn't.
Did he have an intent to do it to a certain person, or was it okay?
Yeah, no,
okay.
And then the person ratted on him.
Rats,
which we
rats.
Yeah, it was.
And so did Terry.
Were y'all friends after this?
Yeah, were you friends after this?
Sorry,
after defecating in a thing of aluminum foil?